having such mixed feelings about this video because it's gonna be the last one that I do for the colors of the rainbow, talking about different beautiful shoujo covers, with today being purple. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. Huge shout out to my Patreon channel members who have been voting weekly, and it's gonna be weird not having those weekly polls. I have been asking them like, hey, what color do you want to see featured? Because I had 2 challenges when it came to these videos just for Wednesday and throughout the month of April, that for the covers that I would feature, it had to be a color that they voted for and won, and it also had to be a cover or a manga from my reading journal. I was so excited when purple won, and I do just want to insert, I will have like a graphic at the end featuring a bunch of different other covers that are purple, but also I plan to do the other remaining colors of the rainbow, be just a graphic though, because I've had so much fun and I am really hyped for today because there were 2 different covers that I saw in my reading journal and I said, yes, we are doing it, done, let's go ahead and dive in. So the first one that came to mind, which was one of the first purple covers in my reading journal I've been tracking for 3 years, was Alice in the Country of Hearts Volume 2 of the Omnibus. I was so excited. I know this is a really old series. Goodness, I don't remember who it was that recommended this to me, but I found the whole set, which you could see back there. I just became hooked. I do have a video review of it from, I guess at that time, it was one of the, whatever year it was. I think it was the first reading review I did for that year, which was really exciting. It's about our female lead. Her name is Alice, and it starts out similar to the original story that Alice is taking a nap, and then she wakes up, she sees a rabbit, though I think it's an actual human with rabbit ears in this series. She falls down a hole and ends up in this world, but unlike the world that the original Alice falls into, which I guess in the original story was pretty dangerous, but this one is also very dangerous. There seems to be like gangs, and all of these people have weapons, and they're not afraid to fire those weapons at her and other people. So it's her story of trying to survive in this world and find a way to get back home, ultimately. I really love this cover. I love how actually all of them, that they, instead of being this way, like for the design, that you have to turn them sideways. Again, that's just for the omnibus. The Tokyo Pop version didn't have that. I think maybe the spin-offs are very similar where they have the text on the side like this, but you don't have to turn the whole cover. But I just think it's really unique, and this is definitely a manga. I love all the characters, even though I haven't technically read enough of the spin-off series to know who this guy is, to officially have met him. And I'm pretty sure that is Alice's sister. That is, oh my goodness, is that the Joker? He's a very interesting character. I like when he shows up in pretty much all of the spin-offs. And I will say too that this land is very interesting because it's split into, I think, 4 different parts, and you have a clock tower. And everybody in this world except Alice has a heart that is a clock. So if you were to listen to their heart, it would just sound like a clock. And there is one particular character that's pretty obsessed with Alice because all of these guys have a little bit of toxic traits. I ain't gonna lie. If you're looking for some really non-toxic male leads and characters, this manga's not it. Because I was flipping through it, and I know some of the spin-offs are a little bit worse. Like, I'm still so bummed. Ace was one of my favorite characters when I first read this series, and I'm like, we don't need SA to be a thing. We don't need that to be where it leads to romance, and I just could not get into it for that reason. I'm like, no. Ace is pretty unhinged. He, again, is pretty much obsessed with Alice. He likes seeing her downfall, or he doesn't mind seeing her downfall in any of the spin-offs that I've read, even in this one. And he says he loves her. He's like, it's not romantic, but, you know, I still care for you. And he's just a very, I wouldn't say that he was the most, like, toxic out of all of them, but he sure didn't keep Alice safe. I mean, yes, I guess yes, there was a scene that comes to mind, but I felt overall, okay, he was not here for Alice's well-being, at least at the extent of past his enjoyment of seeing how she acted. But I forgot where I was going to go with that, because then I thought of my ultimate favorite character, though. I don't think he's featured in this one, is March Hare. He is, yes, there he is right here. He is part of the Mafia. He works under Blood, and I love his character so much. I paid way too much for one of the spinoffs that's a standalone, but 100% worth it. That is just how much I like him. One of my favorite manga, like, standalones I've read features him, and it's just so good, so good. So I love all the characters. I think if you need or want want like a reverse harem kind of thing and you really don't know how it's gonna unfold, or maybe you do and I was just sort of delulu because I like some of the other characters than the guy who ends up winning, I should say. Also, I really wish we got to know this guy more. I can't remember his name right now, but I liked him a lot, and it's just so sad that there were spin-offs that were in Japan that didn't make it to the US, or they just didn't get finished. Like there is one about Peter White. Peter White, oh, I have such mixed feelings on his character, and the only reason I want his spin-off, which I didn't even think was, okay, this is rabbit form, which wasn't even completed in English, is because supposedly he has a romance story with Alice in that spin-off, and I would love to see how it was done because Peter White, I do feel, is my least favorite character of the series because of how controlling he acts, and he pushes himself on Alice, and I know all the guys except for like Julius, but his was just not, I was gonna say not healthy, but I'm like, what healthy relationship we talking about in this series, like, because there really ain't one, except for, again, Julius. I really did like Julius. He is the clockmaker, I believe it was his name. He seems the only one who actually thinks about Alice and her well-being. Here's a panel of Peter White. Unlike all the other guys who are just either sort of having fun with her, they're using her for their own plot devices, and just not the most healthiest of things, but it's a really fun series. After even saying all of that, I'm thankful that Alice does stay well. I liked her as a female lead and how she's just trying to get back home and how she was wrestling with ultimately what determines or is stopping her from going back home. It was great. I didn't like fully love the ending, but it has rubbed on me over time. But I find just the majority, I haven't really connected with the spin-offs as much, but the main series will always have a special place in my heart. Even when I've unhauled like older series, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna come back to this. This is one that I'm like, it will stay in my collection, so I was very excited to feature a purple cover and just have some fun gushing about it today. Same as for number 2, because y'all, when I saw this, play it cool, guys, yes! You know, it's such a shame because I love this series. It's in my top 5 favorite manga, I feel like define me, or if I only had 5 recommendations, this one always comes to mind. And it's just a shame because I don't talk about it enough. These characters, these guys are hilarious. I mean, it says at the beginning of every volume, pretty much, that you could sum up this series of these are everyday stories of guys who always play it cool even when they make silly goofs. This one doesn't say how they're hot guys. I think volume 1 does. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just these 4 hot guys who have different kinds of goofs, and Hayate right here. Oh, I love him. He is my favorite. If you're a channel member, one of the exclusive emotes emojis that you can use is actually of Hayate holding a little bear that is in his color. I really love him because he's so earnest in his goofs and he doesn't mean to make them, but yet he still makes them, but he's like so embarrassed. I'm just like, don't be, man, don't be. Also, I would say Shun is number 2. He's a high schooler. Hayate is in college, but Shun, he will make these goofs and he just tries to play it cool, literally. Like one of the scenes, I think it's from volume 1, where he's wanting to listen to this song. He wants to get hyped up for basketball. He's listening to it and he's like, it sounds sort of far away, but he's like, whatever. And somebody's like, hey, your headphones aren't plugged in and we all hear your music. And he's like, oh, I meant to do that. And it's just like, Sharon, I love his character so much. He's so great. And then we also have the, I want to say old, oh, well here, and here's Soma. He is so sweet too. I really like how he has more of a like serious plot line, I feel like, in this series, where he's really trying to discover things about himself, what he wants to do, what does it mean to sort of like grow up essentially. He's also in college. I think him and Hayate go to the same college. I can't remember fully. I just know that Soma is in college. And I really liked him. He laughs at his goofs, which I find is very funny, very amusing. He has a very sweet older brother as well. I like all of them. I don't know why I keep saying I like all of them, but I would also say, I did it again by accident, but Takayuki, he is oh gosh, I can't remember his age, but he works at some kind of corporation, and he really is, I feel, what did his coworkers say? That they basically revive his heart because he just has these goofs, and he's like, oh, okay. Like when he had a meeting at his job and he went to go take a nap at the encouragement of his boss, he puts on some like eyewear to cover his eyes, like a eye sleep mask. And he goes to the meeting and he forgot to take them off. They're on his forehead and he's over here doing the meeting. Everybody's like, Was he supposed to do that? So I love his character too. And then last but not least, he is one of the newer guys, and that's Motoharu. And it took me a little bit of warming up to him because I think it's just we didn't have that same connection as the four main guys, but he really is goofy. He's a writer and an author, and I've just been so desperate for a new volume. I don't think I've been able to find like any kind of updates. I don't believe the series is over. I don't know if the creator's just taking a break. There also is an anime of it, and I was looking up at the voice actors this morning because I think I've only seen like the first episode, and I was like, Laura, you should watch that during lunch. The episodes are only 10 minutes long, and part of why I want volume 6 or to get a new volume is because I really want to get to know more about Motoharu, because I find his backstory and how he is very good friends with another character very fascinating, and he really just embraces or encourages everybody to embrace these goofs, to go with it, have a good time. And I really like to how he has been able to bring all of these guys together. I feel like he's really helping them, even though he's not like super older than everybody, but I just feel like he has a different side to him that really can bring everybody together and make them feel comfortable. So it's been fun seeing how it started off with all these silly goofs and then coming where it really ties into more of an actual story that has a plot. Like they go to Bearland in this one, and it was so cute. So I really feel like, I guess, when Motoharu comes on the scene, that's when all the guys are involved and we're not just seeing like their everyday lives just into that single person. Sometimes we'll see maybe 2 or 3, but it was really rare, I feel like, at the beginning of all of them coming together. So yeah, I need volume 6 because I really, really love this series. Oh, and his goof is that his shoe is untied. But it took me so, because I was like, man, all the covers have some kind of goof, and I didn't know what it was, but I was so excited to feature this. Look how purple it is, and even the back is purple. My daughter likes the back cover because of the cat, but it's so wonderful. I know I have a video review on volume 1, and I'm pretty sure I have a video review on volume 2 because I just love this series so much that I just couldn't stop yapping about it at like stopping at volume 1. And truly, it's so underrated, but so much fun. And it also is fully colored, so that was very exciting. But hopefully, yeah, we will get a new cover, or new volume. I would say for the covers, I don't know what color it would be. We've got blue, yellow, purple, like a pinkish color. So to be determined, but I'm very thankful I was able to feature this wonderfully purple cover. For number 3, I'm going to technically cheat. This wasn't my reading journal. I was going to feature the English edition of this, but they inverted the colors and they did yellow instead of purple. So I said, okay, we're going to stick with the Japanese volume then, as Glass with a Chance of Delinquent volume 5. I was so excited. If you saw my manga news video on Monday, the excitement was real because the anime was just recently announced, I believe last Thursday. Thank you so much to everybody who celebrated with me. I finally have been catching up with comments after these crazy 2 weeks. And it's been so wonderful. And also, I feel like it was really exciting to feature this volume too, because it does have one of my top 3 moments in the entire series. So I'm like, yes, so like this was a win-win for me. And we also do have our love rival, who's not a love rival because obviously Momo only has eyes for Ichihiro, obviously, but I really do love these 2 characters. They're really fantastic. But if you're not familiar with this series, it is about our female lead. Her name is Momo. In middle school, she was pretty much bullied by delinquents, and she was like, man, I just don't want to be around them. And she decides not really to have like a glow up of sorts, but she does like change, I guess you would say, like dye her hair. She stops wearing glasses and switches to contacts and tries to be just less nerdy. I thought she was so cute though, but less nerdy than how she was. At this school that she goes to, you are required to be part of a club. And she's tried to join a whole bunch of them, but everything is just going horribly. And so her teacher's like, hey, why don't you join Ichikuro's club, which is our male lead here. He runs the Helpers Club, and it's sort of on where it's about to be like closed down, so to speak, because there's no other members. She's like, okay, I'll try it. And it's more, what did she call it? I don't think she said the word minion, but basically it's where you go and run errands for people within the school or do different things that people may ask. So at the beginning, they are watering the garden and pulling weeds, and basically something happens where Ichikuro's real colors come out, and we find out that he actually is a delinquent. He says he's not, but he just uses the glasses to disguise his real self. And Momo, to her surprise, ends up falling in love with him, and so blooms their romance. I've gushed so much about this series. I don't know how much I could say that's not repeating already what I said in Monday's video, what I've said in past videos, but I love this couple, and I really, really love this cover. It's definitely one of my favorites because I just love how happy Momo looks. Like, she loves Ichiguro so much, and Ichiguro here even looks really happy too. I mean, I do really like how for this cover, yes, that Ichiguro sometimes has like single covers, but I will say if you need a series or want a series where you really like where there's a lot of focus on the couples, not just the male lead, this is such a good one because I don't think Momo's had any solo covers. I'm pretty sure maybe she's had solo like cover pages, but I don't think she's had any cover ones that I'm thinking of. But I really just love how you can see how much these two care for each other. The series has gotten better and better. It's one of the few, well, maybe not few as much now because K-manga keeps licensing so many good things, but it was one of the few that I was actively keeping up on K-manga. Whenever there's a new chapter, I'm like, it is time to read, it is time to read. And this morning, it was just revealed of Volume 11's cover, the Japanese version, and I was so excited. It looks so good. It's not a purple cover though. It's very much red, but I love this series so incredibly much. It makes my heart happy. Oh, this is when Ichiguro was not happy. I just read Volume 6 this past weekend, and I just continue to love this series so much. It doesn't matter how many times I read it, it makes me happy every single time. And so I knew, I'm like, if we do a purple covers, boom, look, front and back, just like Playboys. I'm like, we are doing Glass with a Chance of Delinquent. I love it so very much. I can't recommend it enough. If there was only one shoujo manga that I could ever recommend to anybody, boom, this series would be it each and every single time. For number 4 though, I get that that's a lot of fluff there that's happening, and maybe not so much with Alice. That's not really a fluffy series, but you know, if you do like Angst, this series is for you. And that's Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Doesn't Remember Me, and I'm featuring Volume 4 because look how beautiful this cover is. I was so excited when I saw my reading journal. I'm like, yes, yes! It is about our main female lead, Oriana. She is dating the male lead, Vincent, at the very beginning. There seems to be some kind of concern that he has, but she's like, hey, my teacher needs me, I have to go. Through a wild, we really still don't know what happened, Vincent ends up passing away and Oriana also passes away. But the thing is Oriana goes back, I think it's 7 years in the past. She still has these memories, and so she does everything she can to get back to the school that her and Vincent were at because they have two different social standings. So she can't just like go find Vincent and be like, hey, I'm here, you know, your girlfriend from, you know, the past, basically. She can't do that. So she has to wait, work hard, get to the school, and that ends up happening. And not only that, she sees Vincent, she runs up to him and she's like, hey, I've missed you so much. Like, she's giving him a giant bear hug. And he tells her, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong person. I've never met you before. Obviously, her life, her world just shattered in that moment. And so this is her story, as the title says, reliving with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me and trying, like, she still obviously really, really loves him. And she's more or less trying to convince him to love her. And she's seeing almost a different side of Vincent because he gets so unraveled around her. And I have heard some people say that they do feel like Oriana is too pushy. And I can legitimately see that because she's always in the beginning telling him, I love you, I love you, I love you. But we can see with this volume when I was flipping through it that she is learning that she doesn't want to be overbearing. It doesn't change how strong her feelings are. And the longing in this series is so incredible. And like, not just for her, but there's another two characters who I got to that part in this volume. I said, you know, we're done with our flipping through to refresh. We're not going to go past this part because it's that I will cry. And we don't want that right now before this video. We don't want that. It's a very engaging and heartfelt, heartbreaking series. I've said before, maybe not in a video, but I know I shared on Instagram because I shared somebody's post that I am not one who likes angsty series. Like, I would prefer to be happy. Like, I could deal with some sadness and then you got to get me back to the happiness. But this series, it is, I don't want to say addicting, but it is so engaging that I'm like, man, you can make me laugh and break my heart twice over in the same volume, and I will still be back for one more volume. It's very interesting to me how this series has affected me in that kind of way. I definitely don't feel like I have anything else on my shelves that's like this. I wouldn't even know what I could compare it to be honest. But it is so good, so amazing. I do have, I have a video review of it because last year you guys voted for it in my read and review shoujo spree, which I have to start planning because it's almost that time. I need to look through all the recommendations and put it in a form so we can kick that off hopefully maybe next month. But yeah, this series is absolutely amazing. I would definitely recommend it again if you like some angst. Where the last volume ended, oh my goodness, please the next volume heal my heart, because I did feel like we had like a theme here where, you know, there's funny, a little bit of pain, some heartbreak, put your heart back together, things are great, and then at the end it's like just shattering. It's definitely been the most painful volume yet, and I've teared up reading the series, but whew, I cried at the end of that last one. That was a lot. So thankfully we have this beautiful cover though that offsets all of those feels and that pain with a very happy, very happy cover. I really loved why Oriana has on this outfit. I think it's more of like a, yeah, her pajamas. It was everything. Shout out to Miguel, who's the MVP. Also, shout out to Miguel, who needs and deserves all the happiness in the world. Like, please make that man smile once more. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. So yes, I'm very thankful I was able to feature this manga. I pulled it off my shelf with a lot of excitement. And then last but not least, for number 5, I am saying volume 2 of In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name. I missed this the first time I was going through my reading journal, and then I came back, I think it was when I was looking for purple covers online, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this would totally work. This series is so surprising to me. I never expected to love it as much as I do. So it's about our main female lead, whose name really is Ichika, okay? This is important to know. That's her name, and when she was younger, she would talk through a mirror to a boy named Cecil. They became very dear friends, but something happened where he just stopped coming to the mirror. She never figured out why, and then sometime later, her sister Karen goes missing, and she doesn't know where she is, and her family's, you know, very worried, very concerned, even though Karen, I think, is like, at that time, she's a college student, and Ichika is in high school. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but Ichika finds herself going through a mirror and ending up in another world, where she sees her sister, who claims her name is Ichika, and then our female lead that her name is Karen, and that the boy that she knew, Cecil, is engaged to her sister Karen, who is, you know, going by Ichika. So that's where the title definitely comes in. And not only that, in this world, when you have these people who come through these mirrors and they're here, usually they have some kind of magical or saintly abilities, and because they're like, oh, well, Karen, her female lead, is Ichika's sister, so they're like, oh, she should have some abilities, and they give Cecil's brother Noah basically to our female lead as her fiance. It is a very complicated story. Maybe not complicated. I mean, it is when you try to explain it, and there's 2 different names that are being used that are not the real name of the characters. But I have been so invested with every volume, and the latest volume I think was maybe the best yet due to the developments that happened, in volume 3. Man, it's hard to say because Ichika, so sweet. She is a wonderful female lead, and I think she's handling it really well in this other world where her sister stole her name. Her sister wants nothing to deal with her and seems a lot more meaner behind closed doors than she was when they were in the real world. And so poor Ichika is just trying to navigate all of this. Meanwhile, her fiance Noah comes right out and says, I'm never gonna love you and I don't like you kind of thing. So she's got like, really seems she's alone and has nobody on her side. But Cecil comes to her a few times and they really hit it off. But there is like this element where it's like Cecil doesn't remember certain conversations or certain things that him and the female lead talked about. And it's like, well, what's really going on here? And I can't expand on that, but it's very good how everything's starting to unfold. I've had such mixed feelings on the older sister, the real Karen, because I'm like, girl, like, why are you doing this? Because you can see at different moments that she's hurting, but she's just so nasty and so selfish at times. And I feel like there's more going on behind the scenes than we, the reader, and even maybe the characters are aware of. Like we do see Noah in this volume warn Ichika, like, hey, you need to stay away from the queen. The queen has a certain agenda. Don't interfere with that agenda. And I feel like it's probably going to cause some problems because when Ichika has used her magical abilities, she's done really well, and people are like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. So lots there that's happening. I would definitely say though, if you enjoy, I think this would be counted as a romantic fantasy. This is such a good one. I really have enjoyed minus Karen. I've enjoyed all of the characters. This is one of the few times that I found myself really, like in volume 1, I found myself very conflicted because I really like Cecil and I really like Noah. Two very different guys. And I'm like, I like them both. Now I have a certain character that I'm actually rooting for. But at the very beginning, whew, man, that was a struggle, which was really rare for me because usually I lock onto one guy and that's it. Or if I know spoilers, like we lock onto that one because we know the end game kind of thing. So it was very surprising to me that I felt that way. And I truly feel like the series is getting better and better. I just saw actually that this series, that the upcoming volume in Japan, is getting an acrylic standee. And I said, yes, let this series become more popular so that more people will be like, oh, I'm interested in trying that. And they hopefully do, and that they really, really enjoy it because, yeah, this was a wild card for me. I gave it a chance, and here I am, really invested, no regrets, would 100% recommend it. I was very excited to feature it because of this purple cover. I mean, I guess the background at the top isn't, but everything else is purple. It's very fun, very engaging, and again, just very excited to try it and feature all of these series today. But if you would also like to see some more purple covers, here are some that I found, you know, definitely not all of them, but there were so many and they're all so pretty. I had such a blast just hunting down these purple covers and featuring them today. But I would definitely love to hear from you friends. What are some of your favorite purple covers? Did I feature any of them? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!